Welcome to Mindy's Manic Monday. Another glorious day here in Little Saigon. Mindy, who do we have here all the way from?
Today we have Christine Chau, Past President of Chapter Austin.
That's right,
Yay.
Austin. What do they call Austin? Is it like the music city capital of the world or something?
Actually, we're known for a few things. Keep Austin weird.
Oh, that's right. Keep Austin weird, right?
Silicon Hills.
Oh, now it's got something. Oh,
Yeah.
and you got bats that just appear out of nowhere, underneath the bridge and stuff. Hey, welcome to the show,
Thank you. Thanks for
Christine. I know
Welcome
it's
to
so
the
good
show,
to see
beautiful.
you.
Thank
I love
you.
your pink. This is my favorite color.
Thank
Look
you.
at me. I always love colors. You know, when I see this, love it.
Well, Mindy, I don't know
Thanks so
how you
much.
have amazing guests time and time again, every week. But Christine, thank you and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here.
So, I've known you quite some time. Yeah, we didn't really get a chance to talk much in, like some details. So, let's start with you doing real estate too.
Mhm.
So, how do you start getting into real estate?
Sure, I got my license in 2002. Actually, yes, I feel like I started real estate kind of young because my parents have always owned restaurants and they don't know how to speak English. And so every single time we bought a restaurant, we always had to look over contracts. And that was when I was pretty young. And of course, I didn't know what I was doing, right? I was just like, here, Dad, sign here, give them a check, right? But actually, I really, really loved it. And so my dad encouraged me to get the license after college, and I love it so much, I can't imagine doing anything else.
I must tell you, selling restaurants in the real estate world is probably the hardest thing to do. There's so many pieces on it.
I know.
There's escrow companies that won't do them. There's only a few. You got the bulk sale, you got so many licenses, you get a health license, fire license, so
Alcohol
many
license
things,
too.
and a lot of times these sellers and buyers have never sold or bought one,
Oh,
and
it's
so
good.
you're in the middle of it, and they don't know what they're doing. So I don't know how that's amazing to start your career into that.
Thank you. There's definitely a lot of moving parts and stuff. How to figure out how much to sell the restaurant for.
Right.
Because a lot of times, if they're wanting to buy the restaurant, if someone coming in, they don't really know the recipes. And then they might even come in and instead of it being a Chinese restaurant, they probably want to do an Italian restaurant. So a lot of the equipment is not relevant to them, and so it just depends.
Ravioli maker, you could turn it into a dumpling maker. No.
Maybe.
No, but it's not. You got inventory, you've got suppliers that are supplying you stuff that maybe they forgot to pay for 3 months, and then you're trying to sell it, and then you find out after you close escrow, oh wait a minute, we haven't paid the bagel supplier for 3 months, or stuff like that.
Sure.
Wow, a lot of fun.
So, dealing with restaurant at the first start, but are you focusing in, are you doing residential right now, or a little bit of commercial? And
Yeah, sure. I do mainly residential, and I also do property management. And then we've been in Austin since '79, so I do know a lot of the restaurant owners in town.
Oh, wow.
And so we probably do, for me to sell a restaurant or a little bit of restaurant leasing, probably like a couple a year. And so just because, each time I go eat and support them at the restaurant, they're always asking either if I know anybody that wants to buy it or sell it. And so,
Do you own or operate any restaurant?
I do. So my husband and his family has one restaurant, and then my family, my brother and my sister and my brother-in-law own restaurants too. So we've always been in the restaurant industry for a long time.
It's got to be the hardest business on the planet, to work and run.
It's very tough. It's very tough. That's kind of, I used to manage restaurant at a very young age, since I was 14 years old, and it's very tough. Because the dishwasher person doesn't show up, the credit card machine goes down.
Gosh.
I don't know. The weather is bad, and so it's tough.
Or you're competing with, a show like Mindset Mondays, and no one shows up at the restaurant or something.
I know.
Sorry, it's all plug for someone in the audience here. But it is a tough business. And so, I don't know, with the restaurant industry, there's so many moving parts and licensing they have to do. But you also mentioned property management, and I imagine a lot of realtors don't think about how involved that is, where you have obviously dedicated companies that just do property management only. There's a lot of commercial real estate companies that have large divisions that only do property management, like CBREs of the world and others. Yeah. So how did you get into that niche of managing properties?
Sure. So now I mainly work with investors. And so I've been having my own company for about 12 years now. And so right now we manage about 170 doors. And one of the deals with my investor was that, well, I don't have a property manager, and I'll buy it if you manage it. So I thought, sure.
It's a combo.
Why not? It's easy, because coming from a restaurant, right? Putting out fires and, having so much pressure with the customers and stuff, I figured the housing, the residential, would be so easy. It's just one call, an air condition or plumbing or so. But that's not the case. It's actually very tough.
You're not going to get a pickup truck and show up at 3 in the morning and unclog a toilet, right?
Right, that's right.
You're going to call a plumber.
Yeah.
That's right.
How about, you know how to cook, right?
No, I don't.
Oh.
So if people...
hire chefs.
I always tell people all the time, actually at the very beginning, that my family-owned restaurants, my husband cooks, everybody cooks but me. But true transparency, I can't cook, but I get you whatever you want.
Oh, wow.
And so, no, I can't cook. I've always managed in the front, I've managed in the back, I've always managed the money, but I've never picked up cooking. And they don't want me cooking, actually.
Okay, no cooking, but drinks.
Yes.
You're an expert in drinks.
What do they call it? Mixology, right? You're a mixology.
I can drink a few drinks.
Yeah,
I can.
Always
I can
fun
hang
around Christine,
Oh, that was
Always fun.
But I always love Christine she's just so passionate about things that she does. Nothing is ever just kind of casual, right? And when you dive into something, I just feel like you go into it, 110%.
Yeah.
And you mentioned been dealing with Austin since 1979. What was Austin like back then and now? Has the Asian community really grown a lot? And you can imagine what a little Saigon here was in the late 70s.
It's really changed a lot. I remember just driving to many parts like Pflugerville or Round Rock, or even going past Slaughter. Everything was just land, and it was just a small town college, very homey. And so now it's amazing. I embrace all the changes with it, because now we actually have a foodie scene. The shopping is actually amazing now. Yeah. Before, I would always drive to Houston, actually, for 2 hours, just eat, and then come back home. And then whenever I go to Vegas or California, I would do all my shopping. And so now I feel like I don't have to travel everywhere to do all my favorite things, because Austin now has it.
And why does that happen? I heard about you mentioned about the hill, the Silicon Hill. Yeah. So is that the reason?
Yeah, right now there's a lot of opportunities. Austin is great because we have restaurant by lakes, the culture, the entertainment scene, but mainly it's really all the technology and all the tech that came to Austin, and really building out their headquarters and really making a home for them and their employees. And so we've been very fortunate that it's really brought Austin real estate to another level, and that's why our appreciation has been consistently very strong for so long. So we're actually very grateful.
I remember my last visit that you graciously hosted us at. I didn't see a single cowboy hat or hear any country western music for the whole time I was there. And I'm sure it was there, but it was just how things have changed, in that particular area. You talk about Silicon Hills. There are hills in Texas, believe it or not, right? But just the diversity of the culture. People are so friendly in Texas, I can see why everyone's just moving over there.
Yeah.
And with the jobs, right? It's the jobs that attract them, but obviously that culture makes them stay.
We have a very diverse community. It's still Southern hospitality, even though we have a lot of growth and a lot of changes. And I just feel like it's still at home. You know, I can't imagine going anywhere else or living anywhere else because the people still is, you know, I feel like still have that same character. Still homey, still a great place to raise a family and really build a career. So,
yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So you, to me, you know, whenever I'm closer to you, I feel like you are always beautiful and energetic, always fun to be around you. What is the tip of being a person and bringing good energy to people around you that you want to share with us here?
Sure. I mean, I treat everybody like family, you know, especially, you know, coming from the restaurant industry. I always, when I was younger, I always make a point to know everybody's name, everybody's order. Because I always felt like, you know, if someone came to my restaurant and spent $1, came and bought an egg roll from me, that means so much to me. Because they could have gone to McDonald's, I mean, there's so many choices to eat. And so I feel like, you know, I really appreciate them supporting my family and my business. And then that's how I treat a lot of my clients too. Whether it's doing a leasing, whether it's doing, you know, luxury $1 million deals or a regular house or whatever. I mean, I appreciate my clients so much.
Yeah.
And I hope they know that. So
yeah. I can give you an example, Chau. You know, I was surprised. You know, we know that Christine's gonna come to the office and do a presentation for my team over here in the office.
Yep.
And I didn't expect that there was the big, beautiful flower bouquet to my office and, you know, sent it by her to the office for my birthday's already over, like a couple of days ago.
Well, you know, I must admit, somebody reached out to me and said, hey, do you know any florists around the area? And, you know, I just felt, wow. I mean, you know where that was going. So, yeah, it's...
no, I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. So, paying attention to people, caring for people, that's the good thing, you know. That's where you will get into very good relationship, friendship with other, not only your family, your friends, and your client too. You good relationship with people. You never know, someday, you know, good things gonna happen, gonna bring back to you for good business.
Right, I agree.
And that whole feeling and, you know, culture of giving back, obviously, with the president of the Austin chapter. How did that come about?
I was approached by one of the founding members, and at that time I was pregnant. But when I heard that, we're Asian real estate group, I was so excited. I was like,
wow, there's an Asian real estate group.
I'm like, I'm in, you know, anything to like serve the community. I feel like my passion is anything with our Asian community, with women, with children, I'm all in. It doesn't matter what it is, you know. But I came into AREAA thinking that I'm gonna have to fight and you know, I don't know, you know, go to these events and have to like fight for something with our community, because I actually had a rough childhood growing up, and so where, you know, there was a lot of it was just tough growing up, and so I had that feeling where, because we're that coming to AREAA, actually I was ready to fight, I was ready to do something, but when I came in I was pleasantly surprised that, you know, everyone's so professional, everyone's so homey, everyone is just so open to helping everyone, that yeah, we fight, but fight like going to policy and you know, paying attention to what the community needs and doing that customer service that way. So I'm super excited to always be a part of this group. It's part of my life. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
You know, when we always think of AREAA and Texas, I mean, you know, it's one of the first names that comes up, right?
I know, huge.
Oh.
Yeah. It is really awesome. Well, thank you for, you're always giving back to the community and stuff, and like you said, anything that has to do, you know, your passions. Is there anything else you're passionate about that you'd like to share?
Your passion, your hobby, your interests. I'd like to know.
Oh,
A different Christine.
Oh, okay. I love to, I do love to eat, even though I can't eat butter and cheese and mayo, but I really like just to hang out with my clients and my family, and just to really get to know each other like one-on-one. And so I do a lot of like lunches and dinners, and I do like to travel too. And so that I think
you're the one. You're always the one that's like, oh, you have an event, and it could be 6 months in advance, and Christine's like, I'm gonna book that flight like 9 months in advance. But you know, you're always asking. So when are the dates? When are, you know? Because I just see I don't see you as a detail-oriented organizing person,
Yeah.
but you are, with all that passion rolled into it. So
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it.
Well, I'd love to, what I say, book it and cancel if I have
Okay.
to. So I like to know dates. And right now, my calendar does fill up pretty quickly. And so I always like to put it in, reserve it. And it's something that's very important to me. So if it's important to me, I'm always going to make the time for it. And I always like to put it down so I don't forget.
Okay.
So we're hearing a lot about Austin being, a super hot market, right? And all this tech going down there. Are there still some opportunities, or is, everyone always thinks, I've already missed the boat, Austin's already blown up. But are there still some great opportunities and things there to invest in things?
Absolutely. I mean, I think you're going to have to be ready for it, right? Austin is really an appreciation play. And so, half of my investors that come are fine with the appreciation. Like, they're fine with a negative cash flow.
Right.
And so that's going to be fine. But there's other surrounding areas because there's so much growth in Texas and in Austin. All the surrounding areas are busy. All the surrounding cities are busy. And there's a lot of great places to still invest in. Don't ever think that yes, the prices have gotten higher, but I always tell people that whenever you're ready, because maybe last year the houses was $100,000 less, right? But you weren't ready last year to make that move. So it doesn't matter if it was cheaper last year. We're talking about now. When you're ready now, don't think about it. Just jump in, just do it, and then you'll be fine. Because otherwise, 5 years, you're going to be in the same position and think that I should have jumped in 5 years ago. So.
That reminds me, earlier on one of your shows, Mindy, when is the right time to buy property?
Now.
That's right.
Always now.
You can't buy a property last week, and you can't, you could plan it, but always, you gotta buy it now, especially investment property, because, every day you don't, buy that property, there's less equity buildup, and it's always thought of as long-term investment, right?
It's just
flipping might be a little different.
It's just like when you find a pretty good female lady that you're kind of interested in, and you ask, when should I make a move?
Now, baby.
Right?
Okay.
Now we're talking about love now.
Yeah. We had an earlier guest a few weeks ago, and they always mentioned love and things, but we never really got into that too much.
I know. Maybe we should do another one.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a love episode where there's gonna be a lot of drama. I love. I want to be it, I guess.
So what's going on in Texas? I know you're still close to the chapter. Anything new coming up there? I know you had an amazing golf tournament there. You had. Miguel Buenavides is leading chart. He's a cool guy.
Such a great job with it. Yeah. No, I think we're getting ready for nationals and stuff, coming up in November. Just trying to rattle everybody up. Yeah.
San Francisco National.
Is the chapter planning any talent show or anything?
We're thinking about it. We're not sharing with anybody right now because we don't want you to take our ideas, but we're talking about it. Austin, we're definitely always there to make a bang, right? We always want to be known.
Keep Austin weird.
Yeah. We have a good mixture of everybody.
I like that. That should be your signature, your slogan. Keep Austin weird.
Yeah, Austin, AREAA Austin is still weird. That's pretty fun. Well, but whatever you do, and I know you have been president for a couple years, but, gosh, don't go away. Stay involved somehow. Figure it out, and we hope we never leave, any kind of leadership position in AREAA.
Thank you.
We want to have you around.
Thank you so much. I honestly, every year I say I'm going to take a break. Every year I say I'm going to take a break because it's a lot of commitment, but, attending events and just hanging out with my AREAA family makes me realize that once you drink that Kool-Aid, that's it. You're not going anywhere. Your talents is needed, and you just have to rise up whenever the opportunity.
It's not just about networking and giving back and parting, but you actually get things back, right? I mean, there are deals being done in AREAA at a high level, so we really appreciate the friendship, the camaraderie, and of course, giving back together. It's always amazing.
Absolutely.
All right, well, stick around. Don't go anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere, Charles.
Every time
We're not going to go.
It's just amazing.
Thanks.
All right. Hey, Cindy. Oh, that's all right. We're having some fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, thanks for being on the
you're
show.
welcome.
Pleasure to have
so
you
nice
there.
to see you.
And,
All right, thank you, beautiful. Love to
Thank
have
you.
you. Let's
Thank
do
you.
again next, whenever you back in town.
That sounds good. Thank you.
All right, another amazing guest here on Mindy's Magic I said Magic Monday? It's Mindy's
Talking about the
Magic Monday. Well, it is magic with Christina.
I know. Look at that bright color.
All right, Mindy's Manic Monday. It's a wrap. See you guys next week. Have a great time. Have a great week. See you then.
All right, bye.